Hey everyone, let's see. All right, I think we're live. Looks like it. Scoot this over a little bit. Yep, good. Good. So, I think we're live. Looks like it. Scoot this over a little bit. Yep, good. Good. So, I appreciate, thank you. So, welcome. So, on this video, we're going to do a what we refer to as a destructive data recovery. Now, what this does is, this is an external hard drive. In this particular case, it was a cloud drive. This was retired. But what a destructive data recovery is when you open these up, as you can see, there are no screws. So you should be able to open it up carefully and not damage it. However, it is a possibility that you ruin it when you open it up. But you could see the hard drive in there. That's what we need to get to. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's see if we can get in there, guitar pick, and see if we can pop this open. I don't know if we can or not. I know somebody had asked to see a video on this, so that's the thing with this. They often seal them so they can't be opened, and rightly so. But it does look like it should be opened. It's just a matter of getting into it. Can't get a break in there. Can I get a break on the other side? Nothing on that side. It doesn't look like anything's going to squeeze into there. I wonder if the back will pop off. Nope. So this is where the destruction comes in. Because then you start breaking it to get to that hard drive. And this data destruction, or destructive data recovery, this is only in external hard drives. Most other hard drives, you can put them into your computer and get to them, but this is just about the only way you can get to these things is by ruining it. So the only time you should bring these to me is when you know it's dead or near dying, where it won't connect into your computer anymore. Yeah, being a stubborn one. Where it won't connect to your computer anymore. That's why this is destructive. Now, there is a secondary destructive capability. So, why are you opening it? To get the hard drive out. Sorry, my screen is here. So, this is one of those where there's another type of destructive data recovery. And that might be the case with this, because this particular drive is in some form of Linux. So, got to get to this hard drive out. That's the thing. They designed these never to be opened. Hey, there's a pop. It's all clips. I like the days when they were screws, because then you can screw them open and get to it, but they don't do that anymore because they want you to throw it away and buy another one, not realizing that you can't exactly do that. So, those of you who are watching, if you're finding this interesting, as much as I hate doing destructive data recovery, sometimes you got to do it. And like I said, this does ruin it. So if it's... Here we go. Now we got somewhere. You can slide this down the rest of the way. And like I said, this particular drive is dead, or it died on the client, I should say. So we're going to rip this hard drive out, because I'm sure the hard drive is good. The connection failed. There we go. Yeah, we could probably put it back together if we had to. So, set that over here. So there's the hard drive that we need. Phillips screwdrivers. So it connects into here. So yeah. So let's rip this out. Because I need just the hard drive. I don't need the chassis or the controller because I want to get the data off of the hard drive and I need to connect it into a computer to do that. So we're going to tear this apart and get to this hard drive and see what we can recover for this client. That's just tape. And as you can see, most times it is just a SATA hard drive that's in these enclosures. And this is true for the small portable ones too. Those are laptop drives versus desktop drives. So now here comes the fun part. Part you won't be able to see, unfortunately, because, well, I would have to flip the screen around here and see if you can get it to be seen. I gotta be able to see what I'm doing too. So let's move that over here so I can see you guys. Anyways, hi everyone. So yeah, we're doing a destructive data recovery. So we've already been destructive. Hopefully, when we do this, this hard drive is intact and we don't have to do step 2. So let's plug it in, and if I can get acknowledgement off of it, we'll see what happens. So plugging in the power, plugging in the SATA connector. I feel spin up. Let's see if it's going to work. Well, there we go. Let me get some screens over to you. Of course, I can't see your screen, so hold on here. Let me move this over so I can see what you guys are seeing. Close that. So here's what, I'm going to try and spin this around. Here's what has popped up. Like I said, this is a Linux-based hard drive, which is very common out of the Buffalo. And you'll have to excuse me on this because I'm not used to using a screen there. But you see it says this disk needs to be formatted. This disk needs to be formatted. This disk is inaccessible. So yeah, this is very common when you do a destructive data recovery. So now what I need to do is cancel, use some software and see if we can get this to be formatted into a Windows type format. So let's see, let's open up Anami. As soon as I can find it here. You'll have to forgive me on this. There it is. And do that. So this program is called Anami. Hopefully you can see it. And just one person. I was hoping for some roses and subscribers but anyways, what we do know that this drive showed up as drive D. So it's this one here. Windows recognized it, but it's saying that it's all unformatted. Basically, it's in a format that Windows doesn't like. So here's the second part of destructive data recovery. We need to wipe out all the partitions. We need to format it as a quick format, because what happens is, let me give you an idea. So when you save a file on your computer, What happens is there is a beginning flag of a file and an ending flag of the file. And what happens when you delete it, or in this case, partition, or format it, it knocks the flags down, but the files are still actually there. So with special programming, you can come along and the heads will read the file even though the flags are not in the upright position. So that's the best way I can describe it. So let's do a quick format. Oh, got to do this first. Got to knock it all down before we can format it. And let's see. Check partitions. This drive might be completely and totally bad. Here we go, partition, okay. Now, like I said, this is the destructive part to it. Not only the physically destructive part, but this is the destructive part where you're going to knock down all those flags that we were talking about, so the data recovery software can read the files and not the actual information on the hard drive. So, or the flag information. So I'm going to do this. This is probably going to take a moment. Excellent. And so now I should be able to close this. And the program I use for this type of recovery is called Get Data Back. It's a German company. Makes a heck of a software. Bring this over. So we're going to say we don't know as a default. And then we're going to do this drive, because this is the drive that I just hooked up, that I took out of this chassis. And so we're going to do next. We're going to see what it found, if anything. Now it's going to go and read the drive, and hopefully the drive is in good enough condition that it can read and find the files. Or at least something. There you go. Let's see. Not much on that hard drive. When it died big. So let's go back and see if we can find anything else. Show all. Well, there's a bad one, so. You sure you want to go back to step one? Yep. Make sure I got the right drive, right partition. That's what we were looking for. There we go. So yes to all. We want to read everything on this drive. Let's see if it'll find anything. Like I said, originally this was a Buffalo. It was in a Linux type format. In order to get this type of stuff to be read properly, you have to do a destructive data recovery, which is not only ripping it out of the chassis that it's in, but as you see, I had to format the hard drive just to make it recoverable. So yes, there's your bit image. Yep, doesn't look like there was anything in here. It looks like this hard drive died a slow, hard death. But it was worked to death. It was in service for probably a good 7 years. So I am not surprised. So the master file table, yeah, see there's a discrepancy between the master file table and the mirror. Doesn't show any bad clusters though, that's good. Boot file looks fine, but not finding anything there. So let's try one other data recovery program. And let's see. Which one was that? Yes. So let's try the Ease Use Data Recovery Wizard. As soon as you open it up, I will slide it over so you all can see it. So this would be drive D. We're going to scan it, see if it can find anything. Well, it looks like it's going to find a few things. Wow, there it goes. Now remember, this was formatted to knock those flags down. So this is why this data recovery is called a destructive data recovery. Because you have to destroy it. In other words, you have to destroy it to get the data recovery to work. Not only in physically breaking the chassis apart because it was an external drive, but you have to format the drive, knock down all those flags that are in there for it to recover files. It's only 20%. Wow. So this program is actually going to find it. Lots of data files. Lots of documents. There you go. Look at that. Found some videos, lost files. That's, yeah. Pictures. Yeah, there you go. Now, a lot of these are going to be stuff that was into the operating system, like thumbnails and downloads and stuff like this. So it's going to take a while for this type of thing to be cleaned up and gone through. But this is how you do a destructive data recovery. So if you were interested, that's how you do it. It does take a while. Like I said, almost every time, I'm sure if I went through and looked through this, I would probably be able to put this back together with a new hard drive and make it work. Probably just through the USB though. But usually when you break these chassis open, I don't want to say they're worthless, but usually what happens, and in this particular case, it's this USB controller card that went bad. As you can see, the hard drive, it was there, but it was using a Linux format, and the only way to get to it after that is to do this data recovery here. But yeah, this had died, and said recover what you can. So recovery is obviously going to take a while, the actual recovery, but as you can see, it's going through. So yeah, so if you found that interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. I try to do these. I'm going to try and start doing these at least once a week, for various things like teardowns and rebuilds, but that's how you do a destructive data recovery on an external drive. So yep, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see the numbers there because the screen's kind of in the way. Let me see if I can flip this up there a little bit so you can see those numbers. But you can see, so far it's found 8,100 files, and probably close to 30,000 on the disk alone so far. Yeah, so that's going to be a fun recovery. It's going to take me a while to go through all of that. So, but hopefully you all can hear it. Can I see your address? My address as in what? Hide your envelopes. Oh, yeah, it's all right, because that's business address. So, but yeah, that's how you do a data. That's how you do a destructive data destructive data recovery. So, and if you're looking, yeah, you see the envelopes. That's fine. That's my business address. It's not a personal address, so no big deal. But yep, this is going to take a while. We're at 20%. This is probably going to take an all-night job, but that's how you do a destructive data recovery. Just one thing or another, you know. So anyways, if you got questions now that I can see the screen, you can ask. I'll try and answer them as best as possible. Like I said, hopefully that helps you out. It's not an easy thing to do. You got to have the recovery software to make this work. So, but anyways, destructive data recovery. If you have any other questions, let me know. I will probably try and snip this down and make it as a TikTok video, so you all can see it, or maybe I'll put it on YouTube. Lets me put on very long videos, so maybe I'll do it that way as a YouTube video, and that way you can find it that way too. But yeah, that's what you can do. So anyways, questions, comments, there's always a way to get us through the link tree. So we'll talk to you later. You guys have a great night.